Get the most of all these, Coach.
All right, yep. Another game down to the wire. We're kind of getting accustomed to those. I think there's some things that we can certainly do to make sure that it doesn't get to that point. We always talk about finding a way to win. And as many times as it maybe looked like we weren't, we did. And the guys, I guess the biggest thing I'm proud of is the response, starting early in the week. Today, there's things I think that happened because of the way they came ready to practice, whether it was just a response Sunday after we got together and kind of talked over the truth of what we had happen a week ago, and then Tuesday, just back to work. So, very, very unified group that understands that there's still so much more we can get better at. I think, we talked a lot about different things that South Carolina would do that would, be tougher matchups for us, areas in the strength of their team that were maybe different than a week ago. And that's the way it's going to be every single week. And so we knew that up front, they were going to be stout, and thought we did a nice job with the balanced attack most of the time. Obviously, when we tried to force the issue and got into some longer situations or tried to press the ball down the field, especially at the end of the first half, that backfired on us. But defensively, got to the quarterback. We had 3-4 sacks, I think it was, and three takeaways, and that's always an emphasis. Continues to be an emphasis, and proud of the way the guys came through with those. Three. Did we have three? Three. Yeah. I couldn't remember if the interception was the fourth or the third. So, just proud of the way the guys fight. The onside kick. We talk about our thought process and being 1-0 and focusing on the next play. And I use it from day one about the ball being a funny shaped object and bouncing. We just need to go grab it. It seems pretty simple, but obviously that didn't happen. So the guys are trying, great effort on it, but found a way in defense, go out there, attack, be aggressive, and put them in a tough spot there on the last play.
Thanks, Coach. Starting front row on the left with Nick.
Yeah, the touchdown to Jeremy, as far as the decision to call that play when you need the first down, what went into that? And then also, was any thought put into potentially going down and not scoring a touchdown so you can be able to help it?
Yeah, we knew we had to get the first down, just really with how much time was on the clock. Knew they didn't have the timeout, so there's a risk reward, right, on those calls. We're just right on the edge of what would take to kick a field goal. Field goal makes it a difference, as far as what they got to score. So a lot of components, a lot of things that are involved in what we try to do. And there was a lot of safe avenues and things that we discussed on that play. And I think that they were aggressive in trying to play a lot of those. And just like a lot of our concepts, there's a deeper route, and love that Jalen saw it, because I think that's a lot of times early in the season. We didn't maybe see those things, but him and understanding the offense, just his familiarity, and then him just making the throw, making the catch, and that's finding ways to get it done. So proud of those guys on that execution. Obviously, that was a huge part of the win.
Go to Chase on the way back on the right side there.
Opening drive, 4th and 1 on your own 34, you go for it, you get the 2-yard sneak with Milrow. Were analytics saying to go there, or were you bucking analytics in that situation?
Yeah, I think they were there. I'm pretty confident they were saying to go. So it's always, it pretty much the analytics say any 4th and 1, you should go for it. So, but yeah, we were, and just felt confident with the tempo, and we really haven't done much of that. So even them just seeing what we would line up and how we would run it, the first time, that was something we were pretty confident. We work on it every single week, later part of the week, and I thought the guys did a nice job. A big part, obviously, in getting some momentum. You hate punting on the first drive when it's 3rd, 4th, and 1. So great job of the guys executing, something we hadn't really done this year.
Front row on the right, Charlie.
Yeah, hey Coach, just what went into the decision to kind of wait and call a timeout with 11 seconds there before that?
Yeah, I mean, I trust our guys, and that one obviously was, the points they got at the end, at the end of the half there hurt us, and I'm thinking if we can get one play to where we can throw it in the end zone on 4th down, and the clock ends with us having the football, I'm all for it, and Worst case scenario, you take a sack or something, you have to punt it. I don't like punting, really anytime, but, that was to me the worst case scenario. But, I guess I'm always just aggressive that way. And you try to weigh the risk reward and put the trust in the guys, the things we talk about. That'd be something obviously me and Jay Mill, Coach Sheridan, we'll sit and talk about. And just when we're in that moment and we want to keep the pedal down and try to give ourselves another play, I'm looking for anything. Pass might be defensive pass interference, it could be anything that gives us one more play. We've seen crazier things happen, right? And so that's just the aggressiveness I like to have. Now, we'll talk about the trust, and I think the guys appreciate when you put the trust in, but we have to learn from those things when they do happen, because obviously they got 3 points out of it. It's probably the last thing I was thinking about when it did happen. So,
Steven, second row, left.
Coach, what does it say about Damani's toughness? Got the injury there earlier in the game, but to come back and had the game sealing pick, just Damani's toughness.
yeah, it is, and I think he'll be fine. Obviously he was back out there, so the guy wants to go out there. He's had a great season so far. He's someone we got a lot of confidence in, and we wanted to just use him at the right times, the right moments in the second half when those times came up, and again, finding a way to pull it down and concentrate on the ball. And it's kind of most people would look at it as an easy pick, but you got to still be there and you still got to make the play. So definitely proud of the fight that he had and wanting to be back out there, considering he did go down earlier in the game.
Katie, front row, right.
You had some penalties today that extended drives for South Carolina, the one that set up the safety for y'all. Just kind of, what's it going to take to clean up the penalties?
Yeah, I mean, it's penalties. We're striving for 0. And that's what we're trying to do, and we emphasize it. Every situation is a learning one, and we're going to talk about that. Like, we have to read body language of what's happening. I haven't seen it, so what I say may just be totally not correct, but the understanding is that when he comes across the field, I know his responsibility is when he's coming across the field, he doesn't hear a whistle. You just got to kind of at some point have a sense of what's happening in front of you, and if your guy has slowed down or anything like that, when you hit him. But I know the ball wasn't that deep into the end zone. I thought we might even field it and bring it out. I think it was a late decision on whether we were going to do that and let it go. So. It wasn't something where he's egregiously trying to go out and get a penalty. It's just more of a matter of reading what's happening in front of you and instinctually knowing that the play, is a touchback. And so again, that's something I'm sure I'll see on film and understand, how close was it? I think by the letter of the law, yeah, probably a penalty, right? Ball's touchback and all that. So we can't have it. We can't do it. And that was one that hurt us because it put us in that situation for the safety. So just those plays kept feeding on each other, the small things, which that's a big thing, but the small things add up, and we find ourselves in a fight till the end.
Go in the middle with Emily Grace.
Coach, what would you attribute the struggles the defense is facing on 3rd down to? Where do you want to see some improvement there?
What were we? 7 for 15. They were 7 for 15. I think they had 5 on one drive, right? 4 or 5, something like that. I remember talking about it on the sideline. And so the rest of the half, 2, right? 2 for rest of the game, 2 for 10. Is that right? I'm just doing rough math. So you can't have 5 of them in a drive, right? And I think there's just just that desire to find a way to make the play. I'll watch the film and we'll all understand what happened on a lot of those. They were in some good situations on some. I remember the ball they caught over the middle was advantageous for us as far as the down and distance. And that's the one where you really got to get off the football field. And those are hard to convert just from an offensive side, and they did. So, a lot of the game I felt like we were doing a solid job. Can't say we were doing a great job, but that drive certainly coming out in the second half set the tone and made it hard for us the rest of the game. So you got to start a little faster when we come out. We talked about the middle 8 and going into the half locker room, coming out where they got the ball, and then they had those points at the end of the first half. We just got to do a good job of starting fast, in the middle part of the game, and then obviously finishing. I think we did some things on both ends, but we got to do a good job there before going to the locker room, taking that momentum in.
Time for 2 more questions. Let's start on the right with Tony.
Hey, right here, Kalen. It's probably easier said than done in the moment, but you know, had Jeremy gone down at the 1 yard line, the game's over. Do you talk with him about that? And the same kind of thing with maybe Damani at the end of the interception. Do you talk about, you know, hey,
Yep.
nail it?
Yeah, we have all those calls in. We practice them every Friday. That was honestly, I'll just say that you try to make them aware that they don't have any timeouts. That's a situation. And so we'll talk about that. Those are things that hit us. The one with Damani, I just talked to him about it, you know, and again, this is where we learn. You know, we learn, and you know what his mindset is I'm going to run out the clock. You know, and so true, right? But we all understand all we got to do is go down and take a knee, and so those are just things that we got to continue to learn from. You know, fortunately, nothing happened at the end there, whether it's an injury or obviously even something else to where there's another play, something freakish happens. So, you know, just continue to coach, continue to teach. You know, you talk about those things and you think that everyone's good, just take a knee in the end zone, understanding there's no timeouts, we knew that. But then he comes out with that, and that was the last thing I expected him to say. But love the kid, love the play, and you know, we'll learn from it. So
Finish up with Colin, far right.
Hey, Kalen. You mentioned that 16 play drive that led to the 5 third down conversions for South Carolina. Do you sense opposing offenses kind of continuing, you know, the long drive narratives, like the ones where it's just, you know, it seems like they're doing everything to keep the ball on hand, 9-minute drives, long scoring drives. Do you see that continue from, was it similar to what Vanderbilt did to you guys? Do you see a similar approach of opposing offenses?
I think these two offenses we faced are more built to have just drives that continue to have plays stack on top of each other. I know they got the explosive on the 4th down against our coverage with the ball down the sideline, and you know, I think it took the safety out of the picture there. But I think it fit more of them and, you know, the running back, quarterback, guys that just kept moving the chains, 3 yards, 4 yards, trying to get in those 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s, convert, you know, slants or something like that, just to keep the drive alive. But you know, I can't say that they are or aren't. But you know, obviously it's frustrating when they can put 5 third downs together, and then you know you start wearing on your defense again. They're out there a long time, and the longer the drive happens, the better chance they have of obviously scoring.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Well said.